Welcome. In this module, we'll look at the internal capabilities of an organization and how that organization can marshal those capabilities and the resources it has access to in order to address some of those external conditions we talked about in the module on evaluating the external environment. So this is the next logical step. Essentially, you look at the outside world, you look at the ecosystem you're involved with, the competitors, the demographics, the customers, the suppliers, technology, all those things we talked about in the module on external conditions. And we now shine a light inside of ourselves and say, what does our organization do? What are our capabilities? What resources do we have in order to address these issues? How do we respond to what's happening in the broader environment? In this first lecture, we'll talk in generalities about the kinds of things that we look at inside of ourselves or internal to the organization. And we'll develop this in future lectures within this module about more specific tools, conceptual ideas that help us do this analysis. But you want to think about our current strategy as a company, what it is the organization is about. That's in the center of this chart. Around this sort of arc that you see in the lower left-hand corner here, you want to think about what our R&D capabilities are. You want to be thinking about what sorts of supply chain relationships we might have, production strategies and how we're building and developing our actual product, those kinds of things, how we're doing sales and marketing, how those kinds of things are doing, what sort of international presence we have, what sort of human resources strategies we have, and then our financial situation as well. And one of the things that we'll talk about in one of these lectures going forward in this module is some of the financial analysis that can be done. We also have a separate module on that. In that context, you want to look at what's happening in the marketplace, what are customers doing, what is likely to happen with suppliers, what is likely to happen with competitors, what sort of major changes are occurring in the environment. You also want to be thinking about what sorts of alternatives we might have inside the company in order to build or use our capabilities in cost-effective ways, and how one might think about what we can do in order to take advantage of some of those key success factors we described earlier. This is a sort of a general context of what we want to be thinking about, and we think about it in the following, asking the following questions essentially, or thinking about these particular areas. How can we use capabilities that we have and resources we have access to grow the firm's sales and market share? That's it. That's the key to growth, is to have this top line expand and get a larger chunk of what's available in the marketplace. How we might want to get new customers, enter new segments, broaden our appeal, either geographically or in terms of demographics or whatever. Try to get our image or our reputation, make sure it's clear, make sure customers know who we are and what we do, so that we can identify and improve our messaging to those customers and also our products to support those customers. Want to increase our margins. This is generally sharpening the pencil, becoming more effective and more efficient, improving your profits, either by cutting costs, but also by allowing yourself to have more price stability, more price strength, if you indeed can become an important supplier to your customers. They want your particular product rather than others. You have some price support, price stability. That can help with your return on investment as well. Grow your financial strength, make sure we have plenty of money in the bank, make sure we have the assets that we can leverage if necessary. We want to make sure that we become perceived as one of the leaders in the areas where we have key success factors. When someone says, who is really, really good at innovation, we think of Apple. Who is really very good at search on the internet, we think of Google. So those are the sorts of things we want to have. We want to have this sort of relevant strength. We want to be considered a leader. And we want to make sure that we continue to have processes in place where we continually improve all of these capabilities. So that is the general picture of what we'll describe within this module overall. In the next lecture, we'll just talk about some of the financial metrics that can help us get some sense as to where we fit in all of these various areas. That'll be the lecture 2. We'll see you when we discuss the financial relationships, and we'll do that in the next lecture. See you then.